Brother Thomas. You are here on Radio Bulamasti, and today is Sunday. We want to talk about a very, very important topic. I know we've been away for a couple of weeks, and if not for about a month now, we have not been able to have a live program of these particular main slot, but we are back, and this was due to lots of circumstantial things that happened. We moved, we got a better studio. We thank God for that. We thank Aisha too. So today we are going to talk about friendship. We will talk about the value, the importance of friendship. But before we talk about that, I just wish to let you know that this program is not intended or directed towards anybody. This program is for the sole purpose of education. So we are talking about friendship, and when we are going to listen to this commercial, we are going to come back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just joining us, I wish to let you know that you are here on Radio Bulamasti and Shana TV, and we are happy to have you in our midst tonight. We are talking about friendship tonight, and this is your host, Brother Thomas. Please feel free to always interact with us in this program. You can drop a comment on our Facebook page, or you can just call us or text message us. So we are talking about friendship. What is friendship? We are going to have a definition, simple definition of what makes true friendship, and we are also going to talk about the different types of friendship, and we will end, if time permit, by talking about how we can spot a bad friend. So let me say it again. This will be the overview of our program tonight. We will define what friendship is all about, and we are going to talk about the types of friendship, and we will end with how we can spot a bad friend. So immediately, what is friendship? The definition of true friendship is someone who have your back, someone who is ready to support you no matter what happens, unconditionally, and watch out for you and ensure that you are not in danger. This is what a good friend is all about. They will never purposely lead you into making decisions that are not good for you. And a true friend will always have your best interest at heart. This is what a true friend is someone who has your best interest at heart. A true friend will always have your back. A true friend will never mislead you into taking wrong decision. A true friend will never put you in danger. A true friend will be able to look at you face to face and spit the truth before you, no matter how painful or no matter how hurtful that might be, knowing that it is for your good that they are acting the way they are acting. This is what a true friend is. With a true friend, you feel safe. With a true friend, you can sleep and close your eyes without having any mental reservation or any afterthoughts, because you know that someone who is trustworthy is watching over you. A true friend is someone you can trust. Trust is very important. There is no real friendship without trust. And today we know that trust is something which is very, very lacking in our society. We live in a very suspicious and non-trusting society, and because of that, people are always on the watch. People never know what is going to happen, and sometimes rightfully so, because we have heard thousands of stories of people who were betrayed by their best friends, people who were backstabbed by their best friend. And today we want to identify the types of friendship, as I was announcing at the beginning. We know that according to Aristotle, we was a Greek philosopher who existed many, many centuries before the birth of Jesus Christ. There are three kinds of friendship. Friendships of utility, friendships of pleasure, and friendships of the good. And I want to say it again, according to Aristotle, who is a Greek philosopher and who himself was a student of Plato, who himself was a student of Socrates, who was considered the greatest philosopher who ever lived. So according to Aristotle, there are three types of friendship: friendships of utility, friendships of pleasure, and friendships of the good. Now, what is a friendship of utility? According to Aristotle, a friendship of utility exists between you and someone who is useful to you in some way. And if you read the blog of Mo Kelly, she develops it very, very well on her blog on the internet. If you have time, you can check it yourself. She explained that according to Aristotle, the friendship of utility exists between you and someone who is useful to you in some way. I don't know if that type of friendship is devoid of personal interest or cold calculation, but according to Aristotle, the second type of friendships are friendships of pleasure. And we know that this kind exists between you and those whose company you enjoy, the company of people who share the same passions, the same hobbies, the same taste. This is what is called the friendships of pleasure. And sometimes you meet people who share maybe the passion for literature like you, and you gather around a literature club or music club or soccer club. This is the kind of friendship that Aristotle calls the friendships of pleasure. And according to him, the last kind of friendship, or the last type of friendship, is friendships of the good. And we know that the relationship in these kinds of friendships are based on mutual respect and admiration. And this is the kind of friendship we would like to have. Friendships that are not based on any interest or based on any passion or even based on any pleasure that we derive from one another, but friendship that is based on respect and admiration. And according to Peter Carfaccio, I read it in his book. According to Pete Carfaccio, friendship is categorized into four types. Remember, Aristotle categorized friendship into three types, but Pete Carfaccio, a great reader and a great writer, categorized friendship into four types. The first type is acquaintance friendship. We are going to continue when we listen to this piece of music on this commercial, and we will be back very soon. Remember, you are on Radio Bulamasti and Shana TV. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Brother Thomas. You are on Radio Bulamasti and Shana TV, and you are at the right place and at the right time. For those who are joining us this evening, I like to remind you that we are talking about friendship. We are talking about friendship, what friendship is, and the types of friendship, and how you can spot a bad friend. And we just defined friendship not long ago as a relationship with someone who has your back, and someone who is watching over you, someone who is ready to defend you in all circumstances, sometimes at the cost of their life, someone who would do anything, who would go extra mile to ensure that you are out of the wood, that you are out of danger. And we know that a good friend is someone who will look at you face to face, eyeball to eyeball, and spit the truth the raw truth, no matter how painful it might be, just for the sake of bringing you back on track. His good friend is someone who has your best interest at heart. Now, having defined what friendship is all about, we were talking about the types of friendship. We talked about friendship as perceived by Aristotle, who used to be a Greek philosopher of global repute, and according to Maria Morkelly, Aristotle classified friendship into three categories: friendships of utility, friendships of pleasures, and friendships of the good. Now, we want to see how Pete Carfaccio categorized friendship into four types. According to Pete Carfaccio, you have an acquaintance friend. That is the first type of friend, and that is at the very basic level. And we are going to define it later on. We have a peer friend, and from the second level, we have a third level type of friend, which is the close friend, and finally, we have the best friend, according to Pete Carfaccio. We will come back to these four types of friendship because it's very, very interesting the way Pete Carfaccio put it in his book. Other scholars identify 7 types of friends, and 7 types of friends that are worth spending time with. The crazy friend. The crazy friend is the person who constantly pushes you out of your comfort zone. And we have the honest friend, the one who tells you the raw truth, looking at you eyeball into eyeball. And we have the long-term friend, the person who will be with you indefinitely until death do you part. And we have the gossipy friends, not a very good friend or very good type of friendship. We have the work friends, which we usually call the co-worker or the colleague, and we have the loyal friend who will always have our back no matter what. They are loyal to us, they are faithful, they are consistent. What their friendship is not based on any interest they get from us or from anything they gain. That is the loyal friend. And we have the friends you admire. You have the friends you admire. Now, just as promised, I would like us to come back to the 4 types of friendship according to Pete Carfaccio, and in his books, which I strongly recommend to all of you who are interested in going deeper into the exploration of this topic. Pete Carfaccio tells us how we can make friends we always wanted. What kind of friends we always wanted? We know that there was a book which is a best-selling book today, and I don't know if there is a book that ever sold better than it did, but it is Dale Carnegie's How to Make Friends. Dale Carnegie, a must-read book. And I don't know if Pete Carfaccio drew inspiration from Dale Carnegie's work, but Pete Carfaccio tells us how we can make good friends. Acquaintance, all friendships initially start out as an acquaintance, and we know that. This is someone with whom you share and know public information, facts about, and you may interact with them, but don't really consider them to be your friends. This is very basic level, and that's why Pete Carfaccio calls them acquaintance friendship. You don't know them, they don't know you, but you can share basic things together. You have public information or facts that you can share together, but that doesn't mean that there is any strong tie or any strong relationship between you. It takes just a few times seeing someone or to consider them an acquaintance, but that person may or may not move past this stage in your association with them. And peer friends, like Pete Kafasio said, that which is the second type of friendship, peer friends, is someone with whom you discover common interests, activities, and concerns, and you may even learn a little about each other's goals, wishes, or opinions. It takes some time to develop the status of a peer because it implies that you have encountered the person on numerous occasions and have some types of involvement with them. And as you discover who does and does not share your values and goals, it is natural for fewer people to progress past this stage. And close friend, which is the third type of friend, according to Pete Kafaccio, close friend is a friend you would consider part of your inner circle and with whom you share some similar life goals and values. And these are people who know the most about your life and have likely been through a few ups and downs with you. So this is the close friend, someone you have admitted in your inner circle, someone who shares your ups and downs, someone who shares your secrets, someone who shares your pain, someone who knows a lot about you, someone who knows intimate things, maybe not all the intimate stuff, but who knows enough to be able to either build you up or tear you down. This is what a close friend is. And not many people are close friends. I don't think in our society we have too many close friends. Sometimes we might have just one, and sometimes we might have 2, 3, 4, depending on how we build our relationships with people around us, or also depending on where destiny led our steps, on whom we stumble in our journey here on earth. So close friends are generally those you see and talk to the most. And we have the fourth type of friendship. We will talk about it in a couple of minutes, or if not a couple of seconds. When we listen to this commercial, we will be back. Thank you very much.
या जानना चाहते हैं कि ये सही समय है घर खरीदना या बेचना? इसके लिए आप सिटी टू सिटी रियल्टर प्रणीता चंद को कॉल कर सकते हैं फोन 778-872-4708 पर। कस्टमर कर्टेसी के लिए प्रणीता चंद आपके लीगल फीस भी पे करेगी। फॉर ट्रस्टेड नेम इन बाइंग एंड सेलिंग योर प्रॉपर्टी, कॉल प्रणीता चंद, टॉप रियल्टर विद एक्सपीरियंस। Phone 778-872-4708.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Brother Thomas, and today we are talking about friendship, the value of friendship. And if you are just joining us, just know that you are on Radio Bulamasti and Shana TV. And as I said at the beginning of this program is not intended or directed towards somebody. It is for the sole purpose of education and mutual edification. So we define friendship. And after defining friendship, we talked about the types of friendship that exist in the world according to some scholars like Aristotle, who was a Greek philosopher, and the students of Plato, who himself was a student of Socrates. And we also define the types of friendship according to Pete Kafaccio. And we are developing the fourth point of Chris Kafaccio. Remember, according to Chris Kafaccio, we have 4 types of friendship. He categorized them. We have the acquaintance friendship, we have the peer friendship, and we have the close friend. And the fourth type is the intimate friend. He talks about the intimate friends. And close friends are generally those you see and talk to the most often. And best friend, which is the intimate friend. The best friend is someone with whom you have built up a strong, very strong level of trust and could share almost everything with. Very close level of trust. And it takes many, many years of deep and intense relationship to arrive at that point. And the development of a best friend relationship takes time. It takes time, like I said. It takes experience together. It cannot happen overnight. Remember, we live in a very suspicious and non-trustworthy, non-trusting society, and people like to take time to observe, to study, to know the kind of person they are building friendship with. So it takes a very, very long time to arrive at this level, and it cannot happen overnight, like I said. It implies a commitment to support one another and requires honesty, loyalty, and discretion from both parts. Let me say it again. The best friend is the friends that you trust at a deepest level, and it requires honesty, loyalty, and discretion from both parties. There is a very, very famous story in the ancient book about the friendship between David and Jonathan. These two were so close that they would die for each other. It was very, very unusual, and that is the highest level of friendship, when you can lay down your life for your best friend. So let's come back to what Pete Carfaccio was saying, because in his books he makes very, very good analogy between the plants that we grow and the stages of the plant, and friendship, and also the stages of friendship. In his book, Pete Carfaccio says that an acquaintance is a seed, or let me say an acquaintance friendship is like a seed. You plant lots of them in the ground, but you really don't see, and you don't even know which ones will sprout and which won't. A peer friend is like a small sprout. They all start off as acquaintances, but now they are visible above ground. That is an acquaintance friendship. They are not mature plants, and not all of them will survive the weather, pests, on other challenges. A close friend is like a strong growing plant. You see, the acquaintance friend is like a seed, but the close friend is like a strong growing plant. According to Pete Carfaccio, you invest more in these relationships, and you water, you feed, and you care for them. But not all of them will advance to the next stage. A best friend is fully mature plant that gives a crop of more seeds, and strong and healthy, they withstand the test of life and stand out above all the other plants. Lessons here are some dynamics that shrink, or let me say some dynamics that accompany the stages of growth for further insight. Lesson number one from this wonderful book is that the numbers shrink as you progress through the stages. The numbers shrink as we go from the stage of peer acquaintance friend to peer friend to close friends and to best friend. They number of friends keeps shrinking. It's just as if at the start you had about 100 friends, and as years go by, the number shrinks, drops to, let's say, 50, and keeps dropping to from 50 to 20, and from 20 to 5, and sometimes from 5 to 2 or just 1. So that is lesson number 1. The numbers will shrink as you progress through the stages. And as you move from stage to stage, the pool of available candidates gets increasingly smaller. For instance, you could be in a room of 100 acquaintances, just like I was illustrating, but you will only really enjoy the company of a percentage of them to move into the peer friend stage. This is completely natural and okay, but you can and should still be pleasant and friendly to everyone. Then as you get to know your tribe of peer friends better, you will discover that some of them don't share your values, and some are untrustworthy, or they gossip, and some are seed acquaintance or peer friends or seed growing plants, or just mature plants, which is the best friends. So the 4 stages of friendship is a good illustration by Pete Carfaccio to tell us how much friendship is very costly. And I should admit, we need to invest into our friendship. If we want to have a close friend, we need to invest into the life of that close friend, because it doesn't just happen overnight. You invest in the life of people for them to become your best friend, and vice versa. They also invest into your life. You invest time, you invest money, you invest everything that you can invest, and above all, you invest love. And the result of all these will be trust and love in return. Trust and love in return. Now, I would like us to talk a little bit about what is a bad friend? How can we spot a bad friend? We will listen to this commercial and we will be back in a couple of seconds. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, dear fellow guests. We are talking about friendship. If you are just joining us, dear televiewer or listener, just know that you are on Radio Bulamasti and Shana TV, and this is your host, Brother Thomas. We are talking about the value of friendship. We define friendship. We define the different types of friendship according to some scholars like Aristotle and Pete Carfaccio, and we also define the 7 kinds of friends we would like to spend time with, the crazy friends and other types. And now we want to talk about the bad friends. How can you spot a bad friend? Because it all boils down to that. There is no point being in a relationship which you will call friendship if the person you call friend is somebody who will end up stabbing you at the back, or betraying you, or even being involved in a conspiracy or an evil machination against you. So it is important to be vigilant. It is important to watch out for some of these signs and some of these symptoms that I'm going to share with you today, so that you are mentally and psychologically prepared. So how can you spot a bad friend? These are some of the signs. 1, a bad friend is someone who is overly competitive with you. Overly competitive. Have you ever had a friend who always feels that they are in competition with you? Whatever you get, they want to get it. Whatever you achieve, they want to achieve the same thing. And they use you as a measuring line. And it seems that their life are measured by everything that you do or everything that you say. Watch out for this type of friends because they are very dangerous. So that is the sign number one. A bad friend is someone who is overtly competitive with you. Another sign is that you likely a friend who likely encourages bad behaviors is a bad friend. If you do something which is wrong or something which is not correct or which is not okay, but instead of receiving a reprimand from your friend, you receive an encouragement, you need to be careful with this kind of friends because they can easily lead you into the ditch. They can easily lead you into mistakes. And the unfaithful friend, the bad friend, is also an unreliable person. When you need them the most, they are not there. When you don't need them, they show up. This kind of behavior is a very deep sign, a very deep symptom for you to be able to know before time that you are dealing with a dangerous person. Unreliability, because a good friend is somebody you can lean on at any time of the day, whether it is after midnight or 2 a.m. in the morning. They are available for you. They are there for you, and they would take any risk for you. But when you need someone the most and they can't show up, they can't sacrifice anything just to attend to you or make sure that things are going well with you, you need to be careful with this type of friend. The number 4 signs on how we can spot a bad friend is that they are very combative. A bad friend is very combative. When I say combative, it means they like to start fights. They like to quarrel you. They like to antagonize you. They like to oppose you. They are very, very antagonizing. They are very, very, very how would I put it? Oppositional. Very, very oppositional. They are always picking a fight, and you need to be to be very careful when you are dealing with this kind of friend. A good friend will pick a fight with you, but that will not be a serious fight, and that will not happen all the time. But when it happens with a high frequency, then you know that you are not dealing with a friend, you are dealing with an enemy that is disguised as a friend. The number 5 sign for you to spot a bad friend is they are not considerate. A bad friend is rude. They are not polite, they are not considerate, they are rude, they are mean. Even in the presence of people, they put you down, they make you feel inferior, they make you feel as if you were less important. This kind of friends, you need to be careful. The 6th sign you need to be on the watch for is, sometimes, not even sometimes, most of the time, a bad friend will be mean or degrading. They will make you feel bad. They will magnify every mistake, every error that you make. They will magnify when you mess up. They will magnify it. They would give you a feeling of insecurity. They will make you feel that you are a failure. And when you are with such friends who cannot boost your self-esteem, such friends who cannot build you up, such friends who cannot push you towards the mark of progress, you need to be careful. And the 7th sign of a bad friend is that they are prone to gossip. They are prone to gossip. When a friend is always ready to sell out any secret that you release in confidentiality to them, you need to be careful. For example, you can tell your friend that you did something which you are not very proud of, and the next thing is you hear it in the community, you hear it you hear people talk about it, and you wonder, how can this information, how did it leak? How did it leak out? How did it get into the hands of my enemies? There is no doubt that somebody sold you out, and that person is the person you think is your friend, but actually the person is an enemy. And you need to be careful when a friend is always taking your personal information or your deep secret outside. And the last sign which I have found about bad friendship is that bad friends are likely to bully you or to bully other people around you, or people who love you, they bully you or they bully other people around you. And that is why we should not have too many friends. The old book says in the book of Proverbs chapter 18 verse 24 that one who has too many friends will have them for their doom. Don't have too many friends. When the old book talks about not having too many friends, it talks about not having too many best friends or too many close friends. Have a couple of them, and that's it. Because the more friends you have, the more you are at risk of being sold out there. And the same old book tells us in the book of Proverbs chapter 18 verse 24 that one who has unreliable friend soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. There is a friend who is more important to you than a brother, and that kind of friend is the one who will be always there for you, who will always be there for you in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, late in the night, even in the middle of the night. They will always be there for you. They would sacrifice their sleep. They would sacrifice their comfort. They will sacrifice anything just to make sure that things are going well with you. And this is the kind of friends we like to have in the society. And it's not easy to have this kind of friendship. We need to invest into our relationship so that they will mature from just acquaintance friendship, as Pete Carfaccio talks about, to best friendship. I hope you have enjoyed this program today. If you have, please let me know by dropping a comment on the Facebook page of Radio Bulamasti. From before then, I would like to say shalom and see you next time as God gives us life. Stay blessed and see you next time.